Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Jasmine and this is Jazz Talks. Here we talk about everything and anything. Let's talk. I can't believe we made it to our final episode in this series. If you've been listening from the beginning, thank you so much for joining me on this journey. Please don't forget to like all my podcasts, subscribe to my channel, and share these videos to everyone. We've talked about the importance of mental health in schools, and we've covered many topics. We've explored the research, discussed the laws that protect students, looked at the gaps that still exist, shared practical strategies educators can use every day, and even heard from professionals working in education. In today's episode, episode 6, My Vision for the Future. This episode will cover what schools can become, my vision, mental health and special education, my biggest takeaways, advice for future teachers, and my overall conclusion for this entire series. As I wrap up this series, I want to leave you with something that I believe is just as important as research itself: hope. While there are certainly challenges, I truly believe that education is moving in the right direction, and I believe we all have the opportunity to be part of that change. So, let's talk about what I hope schools can become. When I picture the future of education, I imagine schools where every child feels like they belong the moment they walk through the front doors. A place where students aren't only recognized for their academic achievements, but also for who they are as individuals. A place where kindness, empathy, emotional well-being, and learning are valued equally because we understand the students learning best when they feel safe, supported, and connected. I envision schools where asking for help is seen as a strength rather than a weakness, where mental health conversations are just as normal as conversations about reading, math, or science, where students know there are trusted adults who will listen, support them, and help them navigate challenges without fear of judgment. As someone preparing to become a special education teacher, this vision is especially meaningful to me. Throughout my research, one message continued to stand out. Students receiving special education services often face challenges that extend beyond academics. Many are learning how to manage anxiety, frustration, sensory differences, communication barriers, emotional regulation, or the effect of trauma, all while trying to learn alongside their peers. Because of that, I believe mental health should never be viewed as an extra service or an afterthought. It should be recognized as an essential part of supporting the whole child. When schools intentionally consider students' emotional well-being alongside their academic growth, they create learning environments where students have the opportunity to truly thrive. It doesn't mean every child will need counseling or intensive mental health services. What it does mean is that every student deserves caring adults, positive relationships, supportive classrooms, and access to additional help when they need it. This could also mean that students just need a basic mental health assessment to see whether they need additional services. Sometimes the smallest interactions, a warm greeting, a few encouraging words, or taking a moment to truly listen, can have a lasting impact on a child's life. One of my biggest takeaways from this project is that educators don't have to do everything alone. Supporting students' mental health is a team effort. Teachers, school psychologists, counselors, administrators, speech-language pathologists, occupational therapists, behavior specialists, families, and community organizations all bring valued perspectives and expertise. When we collaborate, students receive more consistent and meaningful support. Another lesson that really stays with me is that early intervention matters. The sooner we recognize a student's need and provide support, the greater the opportunity we have to help them build confidence, develop healthy coping skills, and experience success both inside and outside the classroom. As I prepare to begin my own teaching career, I hope to create a classroom where every student feels welcomed, respected, and valued. I want my students to know that mistakes are part of learning, that asking for help is okay, and that they always have someone who believes in them. I hope to celebrate each student's strengths while providing the individualized support they need to grow academically, socially, and emotionally. To further teachers who may be listening, I want to leave you with this: never underestimate the impact that you can have on a child's life. You may not remember every lesson you teach, but your students will remember how you made them feel. A smile, a kind word, your patience during a difficult moment, or your belief in a student who is struggling can become something that carries with them for years. You don't have to have all the answers. None of us do. I certainly don't. But you have to continue learning, ask questions, seek support from your colleagues, and remember that every day is another opportunity to make a positive difference. If you're a parent listening, thank you for trusting educators to be part of your child's journey. Your partnership, your insight, and your advocacy are invaluable. When families and schools work together, students benefit in ways that neither could accomplish alone. And if you're someone who simply cares about children and education, I hope this series has encouraged you to think differently about the role mental health plays in our schools. Mental health isn't separate from education. It is a part of education. When students feel emotionally safe and supported, they are better able to learn, build relationships, and discover their potential. As I reflect on everything I've learned throughout this project, I feel hopeful. There is still work to be done, but there is also incredible progress happening across schools, communities, and educational systems. I've definitely seen this when talking to classmates in my own graduate class. Every conversation, every new policy, every teacher who chooses to build meaningful relationships with students, and every school that prioritizes mental health brings us one step closer to creating the kind of learning environment every child deserves. I do hope this series has given you new ideas, encourages meaningful conversation, and reminds you that even small actions can make a lasting difference. Whether you're an educator, a parent, a student, or someone who simply wants to make school better, you have the ability to possibly impact the lives of children. Thank you so much for spending this time with me and for being part of my Jazz Talks podcast series. Creating this series has been an incredible learning experience, and I'm grateful you chose to join me along the way. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, keep supporting one another, and remember that every child deserves to feel seen, heard, valued, and capable of reaching their full potential. Shout out to Wireless Micro Ultra Compact Wireless Microphone from Rode, R-O-D-E. They did not sponsor this video, but this equipment has helped me get all the clear audio for this podcast. Thank you to all my classmates who helped me and all their wonderful feedback. Thank you to those who participated in all the interviews. Thank you to Professor Katie Lewis for guiding us on our culminating project journey and for reminding us that our work should be a beautiful cupcake, not an extravagant wedding cake.